So something very interesting has recently happened in the market. We have a new most expensive booster box in the Scarlet and Violet era. For not the longest time, but from recent history, the most expensive booster box was Surging Sparks. At one point, they were $270, but recently hype has sort of died off with Surging Sparks. It's got a small reprint, but mainly it's the hype that sort of died off, which is why prices have sort of gone down. Plus, card prices for that set have also gone down, and therefore we are seeing now a new most expensive booster box. They're pretty much on par, but I'm calling it the most expensive booster box now of Scarlet and Violet because technically on paper here from the lowest listed boxes it is, but they're basically the same price. But I do think Paldea Evolved is going to keep going up rather than Surging Sparks. And here I really don't think is going to go up anytime soon. So if you're going to get anything out of this video, maybe now is the time to be buying Paldea Evolved booster boxes. Maybe you can wait a little bit to try to find any good deals because honestly for all these boxes it's really hard to find anything under market. But I really think Paldea Evolved right now, if you don't have any, it could possibly be time to buy. I know it's pretty expensive. I know it's not I think it's almost 2 years old at this point. It's not quite there, but Paldea Evolved, it's now on its second reprint. Does it get reprinted again? It seems unlikely. In Paldea Evolved, just looking at the strength as it is right now, it's really hard to see this going down. And with those two reprints, it's very unlikely it's going to probably get reprinted again, just in my opinion. So at $250, even though it does seem kind of expensive for what it is, it's the most expensive booster box right now for a reason, and it's a very good set that everybody knows. So let's just look at right now the sales volume, the prices, how they moved, and how I guess many listings there are for under I don't know how far it goes up, but maybe we'll see under 300. I didn't really check, so let's just go and look here. So we can see here, lowest listed right now is 245. Recently, these were in the 220s, but it had its little jump here, and sales volume has been relatively consistent, around 4 to 5 boxes. Some days 10 boxes are selling, but you can see here, pretty consistent. Most expensive box, sales volume is decent. And you can see this is where it's had its jump, especially this one day. It looks like a lot got bought, and you can see just in the past month it has been going up. So yeah, now it's at $245, lowest listed, market price is $240. Now when you go look at the amount of supply on the market here, you can see there are a decent amount of boxes, around 245, 250. There's around like 10 boxes. Go to the next page, we can see it's around 255. How many boxes are here? 5, 10, so around 20 boxes so far. We'll just kind of keep counting here. 20, around 30, and then around 40, and then we hit high 200s, and then we'll just keep going here. It hits 300. So I'd say roughly estimation 45 to 50 boxes under $300. Now that's not that much, but if you do look at the sales volume, you can see, or like I showed, around keep it simple, 5 to 10 boxes get sold every single day. If there's 50 boxes, 45, 50 boxes, that's about what? It could be 5 to 10 days. It could be a week. Obviously, people will list as prices go up. Sales, volume will most likely probably, slowly go down as prices continue to go up. So it's not going to be overnight where this thing goes to 300, but 45 to 50 boxes isn't that much for a booster box, and we have seen just one day 20 boxes did sell for $225. So it could be possible there are some days where there's more sales, and this thing could, being the most expensive box now and being a very popular set, it might go up to 300 here maybe in a month or so. And I think especially in this market where it is kind of hard to decide what to buy because you might be scared of reprints and all these newer sets being new and they're already expensive, you might be kind of wary to buy them. I think if you're going to buy any Scarlet and Violet era booster box, this is the one right now to pick up. I think everything else, there are some other good options, but if you want, arguably the best main set, you could argue Surging Sparks is kind of your opinion, but one of the best main sets in this era, it seemingly is going to go to 300 in, like I said, maybe a month, maybe even less than that. And if you want to buy any Scarlet and Violet booster box, this is going to be the strongest one. It's one of the oldest ones. Obviously, it's the second main set. This, in my opinion, is the best buy of main sets right now at the current time. Just looking at the amount of supply there is, sales volume. Price has recently gone up. Now it's the most expensive one. I would be buying this one out of everything, and that's just my opinion. If you want to buy anything, Paldea Evolved I think is the way to go. Now, when you do look at the set, you can see the total set value is around 1,200. That's pretty good. Total set value isn't too far off from Surging Sparks, which we'll see here. Top main card is an illustration rare. That is one thing to know about Paldea Evolved. The illustration rares are way more valuable than the SARs. For some reason, the SARs in the set are not as sought after as a lot of the IRs. I guess that's just sort of just how the set works. There's a ton of IRs too in the set, which makes this a really good set to open up. There's a ton of IRs. It might be the set I think with the most IRs in it. It's a really good set. And the Magikarp, obviously, PSA 10 is pretty expensive. This is just overall, it could be argued to be the best main set. But like I said, Surging Sparks is also up there. Total set value is a bit weaker. Top chase cards are a bit not as valuable. But we do know long-term, some of the stuff doesn't matter that much. And Paldea Evolved, I think, having some of these really iconic cards like the Magikarp, Diono, I think this set is just going to be one in Scarlet and Violet that people are going to look back on. So I really think this is a really good set to buy right now for all the booster boxes, because I will show you guys here the other booster box prices. I would spend another $20 to get Paldea Evolved compared to some of these other ones. Now, when you look at Surging Sparks, you can see here, like I said, on paper, this is technically, I guess, the second one in our second place because lowest listed, but market price, you can't see it's a little bit more. Yeah, this I think shortly here is going to be officially the second most expensive, because I think Paldea Evolved is going to be moving up here in the next couple weeks, and I don't really see Surging Sparks moving up really anytime soon. So Surging Sparks, you can see here in the past month, sales have been still decent, still like 10 or 20 boxes being sold, but you can see it's kind of all over the place in the past month. This also is part of the reprint with Paldea Evolved, and yeah, you can see prices have just been going up and down, up and down. At one point around here, it was around 260, 270, but now it's back down to 240s. And you can just see, there are some listings here. It's going to go probably back up to 250, where Paldea Evolved is probably going to be at 2. So they're probably going to be tied for first place for a little bit of time. But Surging Sparks, it has more reprint opportunities, obviously being a very new main set. And therefore, I mean, they're both really good. Like, they're both, arguably, like, at least, in the top 2. Surging Sparks would probably be the worst buy because there just is that chance of more reprints. And Paldea Evolved, now having its second reprint, seemingly is a safer buy than Surging Sparks. So, Paldea Evolved definitely, even if Surging Sparks, somehow in the near term does go a little bit higher than Paldea Evolved, I still think Paldea Evolved is the better buy regardless, or vice versa. If Paldea Evolved gets a little bit more expensive than Surging Sparks, I still think Paldea Evolved is the better buy, even though Surging Sparks is still a really good set. When you look at set value, it's a bit more valuable than Paldea Evolved by around $200. It's not a crazy amount, but it does have a few chase cards that are a lot more expensive than Paldea Evolved. Pikachu is $300 plus still. Magikarp's only a little bit above 200. Then the next hit is around $200. The Latios, Paldea Evolved doesn't have that. The Iono is not that expensive. I don't even think it's $100. In my Lodic, you can see here, it's around $100. I don't think the Iono, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was around 70. I think it said. So yeah, there are some more expensive cards, some more top chases in Surging Sparks, but overall as a set, I think some people may think or may consider Paldea Evolved to be better, but Surging Sparks definitely, in my opinion, still has that sort of name to it in the time it came out in. It still will be a very memorable set, but some people just may like Paldea Evolved better because the artworks, because some people think Surging Sparks is not that great of a set because there's just a few nice artworks and some people don't really like the IRs as much, so definitely an argument to be made, but still Surging Sparks is good, but Paldea Evolved, if you're going to buy a booster box right now, I think is the better option overall because of the price point and because of how old it is. Now, when you look at all the other boxes, you can see here, all of them are about $200, $200 to around $220. And at that price point, if you're spending $200 on a booster box, spend an extra $30, $40 and buy Paldea Evolved. It's going to, I think in the long run, you'll thank me because buying some of these at $200, it doesn't seem as good. Starting off with base set. Base set is $200. Base sets have performed in the past fine. And this is, in my opinion, the best base set we've ever had because it has SIRs, the artworks are good, but the value really isn't there in here. There isn't as many, popular Pokemon in here. At 200 bucks, spend extra 30 $40, just buy Paldea Evolved. This definitely is pretty much out the question of getting reprinted at this point. Paldea Evolved could still, but it's super unlikely. I would just spend the extra little bit of money buying Paldea Evolved, a way better set than buying this base set. Next here, Obsidian Flames. It's a Charizard set. It's performed, really good, here. It's not as new, so it's possibly not going to get reprinted as well. So any of these are still safe, like these earlier Scarlet and Violet main sets. But Paldea Evolved is way better than Obsidian. Yes, this does still have the Charizard premium, but look, $215 for Obsidian Flames, or you could spend like $230, $240 for a Paldea Evolved. Like, I think it's a no-brainer. Paldea Evolved's a better set, but it has this Charizard, but the value in here, there's literally nothing. I think it's just as bad as the base set. So, yeah, still would pick Paldea Evolved over this. Next here, Paradox Rift. It's 200 bucks. Paradox Rift there is an argument to be made, maybe it won't get reprinted as well, but, I think Paldea Evolved still is a way stronger set than Paradox. I would still, in my opinion, spend the extra money, buying Paldea Evolved, especially when Paradox Rift hasn't gotten reprinted at all. It could be possible they reprint it in the future, and prices may drop even more than what Paldea Evolved has, because it really hasn't dropped, because Paradox Rift isn't as popular as Paldea Evolved, and Paldea Evolved, it's just gotten those multiple reprints. I think it's a much safer option than Paradox Rift because of that. So I would still pick Paldea Evolved and spend the extra money over this. Next here, Temporal. Sort of the same thing with Paradox. I think set values are pretty similar. The prices are basically the same. Both haven't gotten reprinted yet. I would still pick Paldea Evolved, spend a little bit extra money over Temporal Forces. Next here, I think these are the obvious ones that probably aren't good buys. Recently, this has gotten, as part of the reprint of, the other boxes. Right now, it's around in the mid 220s. This box, this I think is the first reprint, I believe, for Twilight Masquerade. Could still get reprinted. It's the 6 main set. It's not that old. So at mid 220s, spend the extra 10-20 bucks. Paldea Evolved, you could argue Twilight Masquerade maybe. I don't think people really argue it's a better set, even though there's more expensive cards. But still a really good set, but it's just newer, so it's more riskier in terms of reprints. And if we see some downturn, things could be more drastic. So still, Paldea Evolved is a lot safer option. And then these ones are sort of obvious, that are not really good buys. Stellar Crown, very new, hasn't gotten reprinted yet. Definitely is probably going to, or not definitely going to, but it's a likely chance, being this new, being this expensive. It's at basically 200 bucks. I think this is one of the worst buys because it could just get reprinted. It's new and it's expensive, and the set is just it's just all right. So this is definitely one of the worst ones here. And then lastly, we have Journey Together. It's 210 bucks. Obviously this is, in my opinion, probably going to get reprinted. All these new sets that are coming out in this time, Pokemon's probably going to reprint a decent amount of these. But obviously there is still that theory out there where maybe the second print, when they reprint it, won't be enhanced, and I think if that happens, these will go up a lot. So it could be a good buy if you're going to bet on that. But other than that, if these get reprinted, it's just the enhanced box. Journey Together, since the release was sort of a disappointment, I don't see how the reprint is going to be any good for the prices. Prices will probably go down pretty dramatically, and we may see, then sales go up. But Journey Together overall, there's a lot of just hype that has died down from the set, and buying it right now doesn't seem like the best option. So overall, going through all these booster boxes, spend the extra $20, $30 to get Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved, really good set, gotten reprinted multiple times. Prices really haven't changed in any of the reprints, and I think looking at the sales volume, looking at the amount of supply on TCG Player, if you had to pick a box to buy right now in Scarlet and Violet, Paldea Evolved, in my opinion, is the clear winner. The other boxes are still fine. If you have Paldea Evolved and you want to buy some of the other ones like Paradox or Temporal, sure. But if you don't have anything, or you just want to buy whatever box, I think it's the best option, Paldea Evolved. So that's all I want to say. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.